so much, Rajashri, for joining this session. So we are really eager to wait that agile use cases using Gen AI, Agile AI, voice agent, because these are the most buzzwords we are hearing around the globe. So we, after this session, we really wanted to understand what exactly all those things, how we can leverage them after the session in our day-to-day lives. So with that, we request you to introduce yourself and start with the session. Over to you, Rajashri.
Yeah, thanks, Nirmala, for setting the context. Let me um, share my screen, and then we should be good to start. So just give me a confirmation if my screen is visible, so that we
Yes,
can.
we can see PPT.
Okay. So just yeah. So I will start the session with a small introduction about myself, and then we'll get into the agenda straight away. So my name is Rajarshi Arjun, and I'm currently based out of Stockholm. Just give me a sec. Let me just put it in the right mode here. Yeah. So I'm currently based out of in Stockholm, and I have around 20 plus years of experience in the industry. Working as an agile coach today with an automobile organization that is, uh, trying to implement the agile ways of working in the hardware space, and I'm currently trying to help them to kind of get those agile ways of working set up and stuff like that. So a little bit about the agenda. So I'm going to cover around 8 use cases, and the use cases would be actually demoed. It's going to be less of a talk and more of show. And the eight cases that I'm going to basically show is, one is a virtual agile coach, which is going to actually understand the problem that a scrum master or someone is facing. Then we would also do something like an analysis of a burn down chart and generate some kind of a sentiment analysis. And then we would also kind of scan through a product description document, generate epics, uh, generate user stories, connect the user stories with the epics, refine the stories, generate UI, do some analysis with of a visual retro board, and finally, we would end it with an AI voice agent. So that's the overall agenda that I'm going to cover. But before I get into the uh, the use cases, it is very important for us, to understand that when we are identifying a use case, what are the things basically we need to consider. So, from my perspective, uh, there are around 10 or 11 things that we need to consider when we are identifying a use case. So, for example, what is the use case, right? Then, uh, how is it done today, currently? Then, in the use case, which would be the AI integration points for us? Now, what could be the benefit that use case could give us? Okay, if it is a very big use case, then does it have a connection with my business unit or my organization's strategic objectives? Right. Then, when we are building a use case, what could be the inputs for the, I mean, what could be the AI inputs for the use case? What could be the outputs that we are expecting the AI to generate? Right? Where is the human involvement coming in? What are the tools and platforms you're going to use? How are we going to measure it? How are we going to monitor it? And what could be the risks out of it? So these are some of the things from my perspective. I feel we need to, co-create it with our team, and come up with a common understanding of the use case. So one of the examples over here, just to kind of, you know, uh, give you an example that if I want to write epics using AI in the from a product description document, then what are the things, I would need to consider? So I've given here an example. I'm not going to read it because these slides are also going to be shared. I think Satish and Sharad, you're going to share this with all, with the participants. But you can go through, right, the things that I've written down over here. But some of the things which I want to call out over here is that don't, ignore the human involvement, because the human involvement is extremely important. Okay, which I've explicitly mentioned over here, that what exactly from this use case perspective we need to do uh, from a human perspective, right? What could be the risks that we see when we are doing this, with AI, right? If the epics that are generated, are they inaccurate because of the prompts that we're giving, or because we are kind of integrating different tools? Are there errors because of the APIs that we are trying to connect, right? Or is there a misalignment in the context itself? So these are certain things that you need to keep in mind when you are uh, building up a use case. So that's one. The second aspect uh, that you also need to consider is, okay, that I have a use case, I built it using AI. Now, how do I quantify that in terms of efficiency or cost savings and stuff like that, right? So for that also, created a I have created a template over here which typically shows you two things. Okay, uh, on the top over here, on the top swim lane, you'll see that, okay, in order to come up with a deliverable, there are certain steps of activities that you do. But now, in order to come up with that deliverable, you are leveraging generative AI, or you're doing some automation. So what are you doing over there? Like, for example, in order to come up with the deliverable, are you doing the entire thing with AI, or there are certain elements in the workflow where you are still doing it manually, or you are also taking the help of someone else from the team to come up with the deliverable? So this kind of a view would actually help you to understand uh, uh, how do you kind of report the savings and communicate that back to your management, right? So taking the use case that I just showed you, a little while ago. So the same use case, I kind of, tried to put it in this kind of a template, that in order to come up with the epic backlog, my total estimated hours before, using AI was around 7 hours, with my cost around, $500. But now with the advent of using AI, it is kind of, is I'm able to save some amount of hours, and in turn some amount of cost as well. So, and that's only for one deliverable. So if you look at it from multiple deliverables perspectives, I mean, the numbers would be looking quite better. But I mean, a view of this sort, right, will help you to kind of justify the investments that the management or the stakeholders are doing towards AI, and then you can kind of show them the kind of savings that you are producing. So uh, so now what I would do is, I would start off with the demos. And the first demo that I'm going to show you is actually a custom GPT that we have built here, which is actually going to work as an agile coach, right? And these custom GPTs are kind of, made now public. So if you have an access to this link, you would also be able to, play around with it. So let me start with the first one, and I would just need to, yeah. So let me start with the first GPT. I think I can start straight away from here. And so this is my, custom GPT that I'm going to, show you now. So I hope it is visible to all of you, my chat GPT instance.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So this is basically a GPT which is going to help a new Scrum Master, or a Scrum Master who is kind of, struggling with some work, to come up with a playbook. Okay. So the it starts off with a very simple conversational starter. You need to click on let's get started, and it's going to basically give you around 10 or 12 responsibilities that what you as a agile coach or a scrum master you're expected to do. So it's going to give you a list of your responsibilities. Now out of these responsibilities from here, now you as a user, you have the flexibility to choose something from here, or you could even write something that is not entirely in this list. So for example, if you feel that these are the things that you do, but you're doing certain other things which is not there in this list, you can still write that. But in order to keep it a little bit now simple, let's try to understand that, okay, I am a scrum master in this in a team, and I'm having challenges in terms of improving flow in the team, right? So I'm having a I'm having problems to improve the flow in my team, so I need some help. So what I would do is I would go and choose number 4 over here, and now you will see that the GPT is now going to start acting like an agile coach with me. So it's going to first of all acknowledge that, okay, you have chosen this. So now you tell me what is your biggest obstacle in improving the flow. And this reminds me even of the first presentation today, that when we started with Amber, right, speaking about the why, the what. So the first question comes up over here is, what is your biggest obstacle in improving the flow? And it gives you a list of options over here. Now you have a choice. You can choose a single option. You can choose multiple options. You can also specify something which is not there in this list. So, so let's take, for example, number C now. Okay. Now, the moment I click on number C and I'll press enter, you will see that the next question that comes up is not going to be a random question. It's going to be based on the answer that you have given to the previous question. Okay, so I have chosen here the team is overcommitted and and consistently misses the sprint goals. Okay, so let's now try to see what is the next question. So you see the next question is actually related to the answer that you've given to the previous question. Okay, so then it asks you that what do you think is the contributing to the overcommitment issue. Okay, so let's take, say, for example, B, right? Pressure from stakeholders or product owners to take too much of work. And then again, the next question is asking you, okay, what is the impact it is creating on the overcommitment? So it could be like, the team morale is going down, or work is getting spilled over from one sprint to the other sprint. So let's take, say, A and B now, for that matter. Okay, and then you will see the GPT acknowledges, okay, your answers, and then it asks you a follow-up question. Okay, how does the product owner or stakeholder typically respond when the team expresses concern about the overcommitment? So let's take, say, for example, again, A over here. Okay. Yeah. So now, after asking or doing some kind of a 5 why analysis, the GPT kind of gets a picture that, okay, your team is overcommitting because there is a pressure, and as a result of that there is a burnout, and because of this there we have some problems over here. So now the GPT gives you a set of some solutions over here, that this is solution 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And it's asking you that, okay, is there any of these solutions that you want to try out? Okay, so let's assume that, okay, we will go with a solution 3, introduce a flow-based forecasting tool. Okay, so let's assume that the Scrum Master feels that, okay, let me experiment with this solution number 3, right? So now this solution 3, that if I if I say number 3 over here, right, it's going to come up with a standard operating procedure for a flow-based forecasting tool for me. So it tells me about the purpose, the scope, responsibilities, the tool that I need to select, then you know what is the procedure that I need to follow in order to do this activity. So it gives me a kind of a detailed, view of what I need to do. Okay. And it also gives me some references, right, from where this has been built. Then at the end, it tells me that, okay, if I want to generate a Word document out of this, then, it can also create a Word document for me. So this is, one of the use cases that I wanted to show. The second use case that I'm going to show is, something related to this, but it's more about, uh, understanding or decoding a sprint report. Okay, so let's try to see that now. So I'll just go back to my presentation over here and show you the next use case. That is, we will take a burn-down chart. We'll ask the GPT to analyze it. Then the GPT is going to ask us a set of questions, and then it's going to come up with a output for us. So let's try to do that now. So we call that as an AI actionable Scrum Master, right? And in this one, you see, it's already very clearly mentioned over here that you need to provide a screenshot of your burn down chart, burn up chart, velocity chart, cumulative flow diagram. So it supports all of them. So you start off with this conversational starter, and let's try to upload the data that we are going to use. Okay, so I'll just go back over here and I will upload a file. So let me take, so I think we will take, yeah, so let's take this burn down chart, okay? And so I'm just uploading the burn down chart and I will press enter and wait for the GPT to analyze it. So now the GPT analyzes it and, it gives me a summary that, okay, what was the planned work we completed, how much work we could complete, and then what was our cycle time, what were the blockers, okay? Then what are the patterns it has observed from the burn down chart, and then uh, it generates a report for me over here, okay, with the achievements, with the blockers, with the performance matrices, and then if this kind of a burn down continues, what is the risk for the next sprint, right? So the AI tool basically predicts, some risks as well, and then it suggests that, okay, what are the improvements that you can take forward. So you can go through these improvement checkpoints and see whether you can take some of these improvement items in your next sprint. Then it doesn't stop there. It then asks me that, can you upload your historical data from your last 3 sprints? So if I take the you know a historical data from my last 3 sprints, so probably this one is one I can take. And if I click here, so let's see what it says. Excellent. So now it's doing a trend analysis because it has got some historical data, and what it shows is, uh, it shows the trend. Then it also shows me what are the blockers, okay, and what could be the risks for the next sprint, and how can we improve on this. Okay. So it gives us some recommendations. The last thing that it asked me is that, can you provide me a retrospective feedback from your last sprint? And I will do a sentiment analysis and, you know, find out if there is anything we can decode from there. So if I just pick up a retrospective file, usually the team does retrospectives in Mural. So I will just take this retro from here and I will upload it here. So once it gets this as an input, I will just press enter. And now it's trying to kind of, do a sentiment analysis, the positive sentiments and the negative sentiments, right? So positive ones, the negative ones. So it generates that, and then it says that, okay, there is a clear sign of instability due to turnover and stress, right? So looking at the comments from the retrospective and from the burn down chart, right? It's able to kind of understand, it's trying to analyze the emotional language that is written down in the mural boards, right? And now at the end, it basically gives us some recommendations also. So these are some of the recommendations that we need to take forward. And then it gives us an executive summary, right? So then this executive summary is something that we can take it and, present it to our management. So that was another use case that I wanted to show you. So how you can basically leverage your custom GPTs to act as a coach, generate your sprint summary reports. So this was, two use cases I wanted to show. Some more use cases I am going to now, walk you through. Oh. So the third use case that I'm going to now show you is I'm going to take a prompt, okay? And with this prompt, I'm going to create a product description document. And from the product description document, we are going to create, epics in in our ALM tool. That's Jira, using an integration platform called as, Make. Okay, so that is another use case which we will now do. So I'll take this simple prompt over here, and this prompt is going to basically, let me take this prompt first in the in a new chat. Let me paste it here. Okay, and it's asking. So the prompt is about, that you need to act as an expert product manager. I'll give you the URL of a company's website. You don't proceed till I give you the information. I mean, until and unless I give you the URL, you don't proceed with, the rest of the things. Okay, so let me execute this. So when I one sec, I think I need to type it again because the previous window came up again. One sec. Okay. Yeah. So let me type this now. So now it's asking me, give the URL of the company's website so that I can review its product portfolio and proceed with the analysis. So what we can do is, we can take any company. For example, is there anyone wants to give the name of your company's URL where we can do a scan and, find out what could be an innovative product that the GPT proposes us to build? Anyone interested to share the URL of your company? So let's see. Okay, so let's take this. Okay, fact set. You need to give me the URL. Okay, so let's take factset.com.
We see multiple URLs getting.
Yeah, so I'll take one, right? And let's see, what it what it gives us. So it first of all gives you the overview of your company, and then it comes up with a proposed product. Okay, so the name of the product, it calls it as FactSet ESG Pulse. these are your target customer segments. This is the problem statement. This is the solution. This is the features. And, this product can, what kind of a competitive differentiation it can provide uh, for your organization and for your competitors. What could be the business impact of that product? And how do you take that product to the market? Right. So basically it gives you this. Right now, I want to create a product description document. Right. So can you create a downloadable uh, Word document of this product document from this product description document or this product description document. Let's see it. So this takes a little bit of time, but we can wait for for a few seconds for this. Okay. Yeah. So this document is created now, and let's just open the document for okay once, and so this is the document that we have. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to upload this content in a Google Sheet. Right. So I'll just take this document as is. And I'm going to upload it in a Google folder. So I have a couple of documents here, but I will use this as one. And I'll paste it here. And I'll give the name of this document as, ESG Pulse. Let's see. Okay. And once this is there, so what we'll do now is, so we will just refresh the screen here. And we have the document here, ESG Pulse. So now we are going to use an integration platform Make, okay, which is going to help us to create epics, and it's going to basically load those epics into this Jira project also. So let's go there. So this is my Make platform where I have, the different scenarios that I have built. So let me just turn this on and let me show you what is going to happen now. Right. So I have, it's going to scan my Google folder, and then I have a ChatGPT module, which is going to read the document. It's going to create a bunch of epics for us. And then the epics would be in a JSON format. Then ultimately, it's going to get temporarily stored in a Google Sheet. And from here, it's going to go and get uploaded in my Jira, ALM tool. So let's choose the file that we need to do. Right. So we took this file. Let me save it here, and then let me run it. So you see the GPT is executing, and then you will see that if you look at the end over here, right, this is where it has created 5 epics over here. So if you come here now and you do a refresh of your screen, and you will see that your all your epics are basically over here. I think that, so these are the epics that it has created. So it has not only created the epics with the summary, but it has also given some meaningful descriptions to the epics, right? Provide seamless access to ESG's pulse data via fact sheet and so on and so forth. So, so this is the, one of the examples that I wanted to show you, that uh, of how you can integrate ChatGPT with other tools and uh, start uh, uh, building your uh, building epics in Jira, right? So this is one use case. Now you have epics here, right? Uh, Now the next use case that I want to show you is, okay, we have epics. Now I want to create user stories, and I want, at the same time, I want to also link them with the epics that I have created. Okay, so let's see if that is possible, right? So let's go back to our integration platform, and I will come over here, and I will choose this scenario over here, and let's do this. Okay, so what is going to happen is, it's going to first of all scan my Jira project, find out the epics, then those list of epics are going to be passed as a in my GPT tool, right? The GPT is going to go through the epics, create the stories, and then ultimately it's going to populate back in the Jira platform, right? So let's do this right now. So I'll just run this over here. So you see, it's scanning each and every epic and trying to, you'll see the numbers are increasing over here. So just give it a moment. Let's wait till the time it finishes building the stories, and then I'll go and show you that.
Rajarshi, in the meantime, there is a question in the chat. How that window
Yes.
pops up where GPT picked data from the doc and epics get populated? I want to understand the integration.
Yeah, I can show that to you. It's quite straightforward, but since the processing is going on now, we need to wait for a while. So it has created, it's still creating some, some stories, but I will come back to this again. But let me show you, what is happening in our Jira project. So if I go to our Jira project here, and you'll go and see, the list of all the stories over here, and you see it's also connected with these epics. And you can see this in a list view also. If you see that in a list view, you'll see against this epic, it has actually created, three stories, right? Against this story, it has created, three epics. So you see, uh, you and it's not only that, right? I mean, once the story is created, it's not only creating a summary report of this, but I mean, it's not only giving a summary statement, but it is also providing the description of the story in a format that we are pretty much used to. Like, so it's identifying the persona. As a persona, I want to view patients' medication adherence tracking so that I can identify non-compliance and intervene promptly. So it's doing a lot of things, within this automation over here. So 60 stories have been created, you see, uh, for all the epics that we have identified. So the question is, can I get the question again, please? I probably missed out the question.
Okay, it's from Mohit Johari. How that window pops up where GPT picked data from doc and epics get populated. I want to understand the integration.
Okay, okay. So then I need to go and go back to that stuff again. So the thing is that here we are connecting it through the APIs. Okay. So if you look at this, right, you'll see I have a connection over here, right, with my Google Drive. And then I have a connection, the same connection I'm using it, to look at a specific Google folder. And then what is happening is that the Google folder document, I mean the document is passed as an input to is passed as an input to this. Okay. And here, this is where my prompt is, right? And this is where my prompt is, and these are the parameters. So these parameters like document from I mean this parameter, this text content, right, the blue color one, this is actually coming as an input from the Google folder over here. So the GPT takes this as a prompt and this as the parameter, and then it generates the output and passes it over here, and then the rest of the steps follow. So it's all connected via APIs, right? So I have an API for this. I have an API for the Google folder, right? I have an API for the Jira platform. So it's all, connected via APIs.
And the continuation question is like, does this completes the whole product backlog?
I mean, it does in a way, but I will also show you certain other things where human involvement is needed, right? So I have some more use cases which are lined up, which I'm going to, show you. The third use case, which I'm now going to show you, is about user story refinement. So refinement could mean, a lot of things. It could mean you're doing story point estimation. You are trying to, break down the story into subtasks. But I'm going to show you only one refinement use case. That's about how do you add acceptance criteria in your stories, and that too in a specific format called as the Gherkin format. Okay, so we will do that now. So back to our into our integration tool, and before that, what I will do is I will just go to the backlog over here. I'll take a couple of stories from here, say maybe one, two, three stories, and I will put them into my sprint backlog over here. And now I will show you the refinement part, right? So in the refinement part, what is going to happen is you will see that there is this look at the flow. Okay, the stories are at this stage now. So the first thing is when I transition the story from to do to the next column, it's actually the AI is going to generate the acceptance criteria. And once the AI generates the acceptance criteria, then the story will automatically transition to the review state. So this is where the teams are going to basically the story is going to wait for the teams to do the review. Okay, and that's what the human involvement is all about. So let me show you that, right? And I'll just give you a brief explanation of what is going to happen in the background so that you understand, exactly what is going to happen. So we have this integration over here, which is uh, which is called as a webhook, integrated with OpenAI module, and then also integrated with my ChatGPT I mean with my Jira instance. Okay, and I'm going to configure it just immediately as data arrives. Immediately as data arrives means that the moment I move this story from here to here, right, you'll see the acceptance criteria has got generated. Okay, so let me show that to you now. So I'll just move this here. Okay, before I do that, you see that the acceptance criteria field is empty. Nothing is mentioned over here. Okay, it's totally empty. So I'll just move this over here and I will do a refresh. And you see the story has moved from here to here. And if I open this now, you will see that the acceptance criteria has been written in a given when then format. So it has identified within the story, it has identified a couple of scenarios and it has actually come up with the acceptance criteria over here. So now it's going to wait here, okay? Because we are not entirely delegating everything to AI to, do. So we're waiting now for the teams to kind of, look into the acceptance criteria. If they want to make some changes or modifications, they would do that. Okay. Now, so that was one more use case, right? So that is what I wanted to cover as the fifth use case. Now, the sixth use case is a little bit more interesting. The sixth use case is, imagine now that this story has an involvement of a developer and a designer, and you want to come up with a user interface. Okay. So we would actually first ask AI to generate the user interface, and then there is going to be a conversation between the developer and the designer. Right. So what we do here is now we would move the story. Say, for example, the teams are working on this story. They moved it over here to the in progress state. Okay. And now they feel that, okay, we need to have some kind of a user interface for this particular story. So if you look at the second state over here, right, it says AI review of the user interface. So AI, so the moment I move this from here to here, right, the AI is going to start generating the user interface for me, right? So we have a scenario over here, which is most probably, just give me a second. I'm just trying to see. I think it is not this one. Mm, yeah, it is this one. So here, what is going to happen is, again, there is a webhook, right? So the webhook means it's going to sense uh, the moment I transition this from here to here, okay? So then what is going to happen is that uh, the GPT is going to read the story, okay? It's going to uh, read the story and create a specification and send it to DALI. Okay, DALI is going to generate the image, create it and then there's an HTTP module which is going to create a HTTP request and then post it into my Jira platform. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, and I will also configure this as immediately as data arrives. Okay, so the moment I transition this, this is going to start. So I move this over here and I just wait for some moments. Okay, so you need to wait because this process takes a little bit of time because it's an image generation, right? So it's going to take a little bit of time. So now let's see if it has generated the image. Not yet, but at any point of time, the image should be generated. Okay, I'll come back to this, after I show you the next demo. Okay, by that time, probably uh, the image should be generated. Okay. So let me show you another use case. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically take a snapshot of a retrospective board, right? So what is going to happen is we are going to, you know, upload an image of a retrospective board, and then Google Cloud Vision is going to scan that document, send the content to the GPT. The GPT is going to read it, come up with some action items, and then the action items are going to be populated into the Jira platform. Okay, so this is what we are going to now cover. Okay, so and after that, I'll come back to this and see, if the stuff has been generated. So the action items will typically come up in this, retro action item board. It is at this point of time empty. So let's go there and see. So just give me a second. Let me do that. Yeah, so this is the one. Okay, so I'll take this. And I will manually choose the file. So it's there in my Google folder. And then I'll run this. So you see, now it's getting executed, okay? And it's going to generate a couple of action items for us. So it has generated around 10 action items. And if I come back to this and I do a refresh, you see here are the action items it has generated. So we know now, okay, the Scrum Master and the teams can now decide, okay, how many things we would be, taking from here, how many things which are the ones we are going to discard. So you can basically, choose from here, but it saves you a lot of time, right, to actually create this manually. So these were some of the use cases I wanted to show you. Let's see if this has got generated. This has still not got generated. So let me just try it once again. Just give me a second and then I will see. Maybe it did not fire, but we can still try it out. Okay. So it's waiting for data. Let me send this over here. And do a refresh again. And let's see if it is so. Okay. So there you are. So it has generated the UIL also. Not a very good one, but at least, the integration works. I'm also trying to do this with Figma. Haven't been successful as of now, but at least, the UI generation does happen. Yeah. So these were some of the use cases that I wanted to show. The last use case, if Satish or Sharad, you give me time, I can also demonstrate a very crazy use case. It'll take me just about, another 2 minutes to do that. Do we
Sure,
have time?
sure, Rajesh,
Then
please.
we can go ahead because
So,
everyone are very curious to know, so we doesn't want to interrupt even though the time is up. So let's continue,
Okay.
Rajarshi.
Okay. So I will show you all a crazy use case now, and that is about a voice agent, okay, where the agent is going to talk to me and the objective of the agent is to understand my problem statement and then book a call with me. So any one of you, it would be nice, if you could share your Gmail ID with me, just to test out, whether you are you would be getting an email now. Can any one of you? Okay, so let's take Mohit Johari at 1993 at gmail.com. So let me just make a note of this in a notepad. Okay. And what I will do is I have to also get the computer sound on. And how do I do that? I think I need to stop the share first and then I need to share again.
Yes.
So let me do that. Okay. Okay. But why is it disabled for me? Then can you see whether, I don't have the rights to, the share sound is disabled for me. Can you please check?
Yeah.
Can you check now, Rajarshi? We made you co-host. You have
Okay.
that option.
It is still disabled for me.
Okay. Let me make as host. No.
Let me try now. Let's see if it, no, it is not allowing me to share the voice of the computer.
Just
Maybe you can try to reshare.
Yeah, maybe while sharing, just see the audio is also enabled or not, Rajeshri.
no. Looks like the shared sound option itself is disabled.
Yes.
Can we change his rights to host or something?
That's what we tried. We made him as a host, but still no luck.
As a host, even I don't have that shared sound option. I don't know why. Maybe can you turn it on your mobile, Rajarshi, by any chance? Okay, we should be able to hear, right? Hmm.
Disconnect audio and then connect again.
Yeah.
That's the option itself is disabled here.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me also. Just trying to check on that.
So maybe
Maybe
Satish, we can explore now. Maybe later we'll just try this calling and then we can proceed with the further things. Will that be fine? Satish, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
no, I'm just checking the options, so that's why I'm on
Okay,
mute.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Rajesh, can you turn on the sound on your mobile and see if you can, if you are able to maybe disconnect your headset and turn on the laptop
Yeah.
sound?
Just give
Can
me
you
a
try
sec.
that? Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So let me try to run the conversation from my physically from my headset. Okay. I mean, sorry, from my mobile phone. So I have
Okay.
a voice agent which is going to talk to me, and it's going to understand what is my problem statement and then try to book a appointment. So Mohit, just watch out if you get some emails on your inbox, and then you need to confirm if if you have got it. Just give me a sec. Let me run the agent from physically uh, from my mobile phone.
Mike from AI Agility. How can I help you?
Could you hear the conversation?
Yes, Rajeshri.
Was it clear?
For me, it seems to be clear.
Yeah, we are able to hear Rajarshi. Yes, please.
Okay. So then let me start it again. Okay.
Mike from AI Agility. How can I help you?
Hey Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And how about you? What's on your mind today?
Yeah, we wanted to have a conversation with you. We are 54 people on the call. Can you say hi to them?
Wow, 54 people. That's quite the crowd. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in. This feels like a party already. What can I help you all with today?
No, we are not in a party. We are actually trying to brainstorm how can, AI and agile help us in our agile ways of working.
Got it. No party hats, just serious brainstorming understood. AI and Agile can be a powerful combo to streamline workflows, improve collaboration, and even predict project outcomes. What's the biggest challenge you're facing in your Agile ways of working right now?
So we are a big team and, trying to understand how can we use, AI to complement our agile ways of working.
That makes sense. Using AI to complement Agile can really help with things like automating repetitive tasks, improving sprint planning with data insights, and even enhancing team communication. What's the size of your organization, and are you looking to address specific pain points or explore AI's potential more broadly?
So we are, basically in the consulting domain, and we have a lot of diversified customers with whom we need to consult.
Kind of consulting with a diverse customer base definitely adds complexity. AI could help you analyze customer data faster, personalize solutions, and even predict trends to stay ahead. Are you looking for something specific, like improving client interactions, or more general process optimization?
So to start off, we would like to, have some consultation first.
That sounds like a great starting point. A consultation will help us understand your needs better and explore how AI can fit into your Agile process. Would you like me to schedule a call with Raj, our founder, to dive deeper into this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So let's get that set up. Could you share your full name and email address so I can book the consultation for you?
Yeah, so my name is Mohit Johari.
Thanks, Mohit. Could you spell your last name for me to make sure I've got it right?
It's Johari.
Got it, Johari. Thanks, Mohit. Now, could you share your email address and I'll make sure to note it down correctly?
Yeah, it's MOHIT JOHARI 1993 at gmail.com.
Thanks, Mohit. Let me confirm your email is mohitjahari1993 at gmail.com. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Great. Now, what time zone are you in, and do you have a preferred date and time for the consultation?
So I'm just before we go there, I just want to recheck on the email ID. Let me spell that out again. It's MOHIT JOHARI 1993 at gmail.com.
Thanks for double checking. So your email is mohitjahari1993 at gmail.com. Did I get it right this time?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, what time zone are you in? And do you have a preferred date and time for the consultation?
Yeah. So I am in the Indian Standard Time Zone.
Got it, Indian Standard Time. Do you have a specific date and time in mind for the consultation, or should I suggest the earliest available slot?
How does Monday the 23rd look like?
Let me check the availability for Monday, June 23rd for you. On Monday, June 23rd, we have availability between 12:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. IST. What time within that range works best for you?
How does, 13 hours look like?
1 p.m. IST on Monday, June 23rd is available. Can I go ahead and book that for you?
Yes, please.
In your consultation for Monday, June 23rd at 1 p.m. IST. Your consultation is all set for Monday, June 23rd at 1 p.m. IST. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No, I think we are good. Can you say, hi again to my team? They have been hearing you.
Hi again, team. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope the consultation helps you all unlock some amazing possibilities with AI and Agile. Have a fantastic day ahead.
Thank you. Have a good time.
Thanks for your time, Mohit. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks. So Mohit would need to confirm if he has got the email ID. I mean, the invitation. Okay. So yeah, so this were the use cases that I
Mohit,
want.
we allowed you to unmute and speak, or we even promoted you panelist. Can you check?
Yes, I have received the email for a meeting invite at 1 p.m. on Monday between Arjun and me, right?
Yes.
So
Thanks,
that's great,
Mohit. Yeah,
really wonderful.
we just wanted to test it out with your email. Yeah.
Great, great.
Super. And I know all the crowd is very curious, and I could see like a lot of questions popping up. So we will be opening for quick 10 minutes dinner break, but during that time we'll ensure Rajashri is still available on the call so that in case if anyone has a questions, we can get that clarified as well. So just a heads up. And other thing, Rajashri, thank you so much. This is something like we couldn't able to even interrupt the people, even though it was extending. But people had a lot of questions. But even I am curious to ask one question on behalf of everyone. There are people who is thinking like, okay, after seeing this, what is going to happen to my job? So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I showed you the areas where, human involvement is needed, right? So there is no way the jobs are going to go off. But I definitely feel that, if you know certain things, it's really going to help you into your job because you should look at AI more like your buddy rather than a threat. Then I think it's really going to help you, in your ways of work. I mean, in your current job.
Okay, so that means now people can sleep today, Aram say they don't need to worry about their jobs. So that is the reason on behalf of everyone, I asked that question team. And when it comes to that agile, I mean, agent speaking one, right? So in fact, as per the poll by 2026, it is expected that 25% of agile ceremonies will include AI powered agents. And as per 2024 survey, 62% of the agile leaders and leadership groups said that they trust AI to take meeting notes more than their teammates. So that shows like how it is evolving. So maybe it's all of us right time to be a best buddy of the AI. So with that, Satish, can we open everyone for the question so that
Ajay had a question. Ajay, you can unmute and ask your question.
Hey, hi. I don't have question. I just wanted to throw some more insight. Thanks, Rajshri, for showing this. But in today's world, we have gone a little bit more advanced here. And what is that advanced? I'll just put 2 cents here. When this acceptance criteria Rajshri has shown, after that, it can also generate some unit test case scenario so that it can be automated or it can be used in the unit testing as well. That is also a possibility which is coming out where we have integrated those kind of systems. That's all. I wanted to show that. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to just show, some basic use cases, but what you are saying, that is also very much possible to be demonstrated, I mean, to be done.
Correct. Thank you, Rajarshi.
Okay, so everyone, I know we have been feeding our mind a lot with lot of information and knowledge, but at the same time, we'll have to feed our tummy also to have that next sessions continued with the same energy and enthusiasm. So maybe you can just take quick 10 minutes break and we'll meet back shortly, maybe 8:33, maybe 8:40 or 8:45. We can resume our session. So once again, thank you so much, Rajashri, for this wonderful demo session. So everyone, let's give a virtual applaud.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
It's really a
Guys,
great
feel
session.
free to have a working dinner for today. We don't want to lose on the sessions.
Yeah,
Please.
that's what. Quick 10 minutes break just to freshen up and give that some time. So you can be back and have your light dinner when we are having the sessions as well. And you could see like our upcoming sessions are also going to be equally engaging and something unique. So one is from the Ketan and other one is from the Madhuri Das. So you can see the track details. The track one is going to be by Ketan, AI-based Kanban. And the track two, Madhuri Das, from insights to impact, how AI is shaping smarter decisions in agile teams.
That two session started just for information. Whoever wants to join, please feel free to. Thank you.